Said, how are you today?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Said, I need some help to set up my objectives for 2018. Where do I start from?
Oh, that's a very good question. How to set up your goals for 2018 and where to start? The real question is where to start. So actually, it's not about where to start. It's really about reflecting where we are. Then we get the starting line. So what I generally recommend is that you look at what have you done in the past. So 2017, how did it go for you? That's the real question you need to ask yourself. You need to do an assessment, about where we are today. Because if we go about starting to set up goals for next year without knowing where we are today, this might be either unachievable goals or it might be just lousy goals. So the most important is do the assessment. Start by doing an assessment of where you are today, and then relate that about what you really want to do in your life, in your objective, in the future, in the long term. So start by thinking long term. What is your dream? What do you want to really achieve? That will be the first thing to do. So, summary. Start by reflecting on 2017. What are the things you was planning to do that you might have achieved or didn't do? See where you are, and then start to think about your vision and goals for the future. That will be your starting point.
So, when I am reviewing what I have done in last year, 2017, what are the things that I can qualify as an achievement or a failure? What are the things that I'm looking for when I'm assessing myself for last year?
So basically, if you want to assess, I can give you a couple of tips and areas where you need to start to think about. Okay, the first thing you need to start to think about your career. So if you're working, where you are right now into your career development. So what did you achieve so far within your company and organization? That could be a first starting point. Were you planning to get a promotion, or were you planning to at least achieve certain I would say objective within the company, a certain project, whatever it is? So that could be the first point to check. So check within your current organization where you're working, where you are. What did you achieve there? Let's say you had an objective to lead a certain project, and this project has been successful, you qualify it as achieved. If it hasn't been successful, then you ask yourself why, and what did happen, what I didn't do well, and how I can improve from that aspect. So first one, your company or where you're working or your job. The second one could be about your relationship, your family. Did you have a plan to travel this year? Did you have a plan to connect better with your family, with relatives, your wife, your kids, or to call some people around you and to be more present for them? Did you have any objective regarding this aspect of life, friend and family relationships? Then do the assessment. Did you do anything about it? If not, is there any improvement to be done? And that can link to another objective for you for 2018. You could look at also the financials. How did your financial go for this year, 2017? Where did you reach? Did you set up a goal for yourself to reach a certain level of income, or you wanted to clear some debt or some credit, some debts that you have, you want to clear them or not? So look at them. If you're still in debt, if you are still losing money, you are behind every month, it means that something needs to be done. It could be another area to focus on. So those are different areas that you need to focus around, and that could lead you to create a real objective for 2018 based on the reflection you're going to be having.
So now I have reflected. I looked at the good things that I have done and the bad things that I have done. And now I want to set some objectives for next year. So what do I need to do? What should my objectives be around? Do they need to be time bound? Is there any number that needs to be attached to every objective? How do I set them up?
Okay, so many people and many coaches out there recommend to use SMART objectives. So it means it's an objective that are measurable, that are realistic, that you can go about. But let's be honest, if we set our objectives that are realistic, we're never going to progress in our life. We're going to be always just about average. Let me give you an example. Elon Musk, he has these crazy ideas to have those cars all over the world, which are electrical cars, and that can do long distance. And he was on his own. You have those big companies, like car manufacturers. You have Volkswagen, you can think about Audi, you can think about Mercedes, you can think about Toyota, you can think all about Chevrolet or GMC, American brand. They're all working on electric cars. He comes out of nowhere, and this guy now is leading the way in electrical cars. What is objective realistic? When you compare yourself to those big people, would you be able to measure it straight away? It was a long-term objective, and yet he went about it. And today he has even a bigger crazy goal about sending people to Mars. Is that realistic? No. So we have to be careful when you start to talk about measurable, realistic, I would say, think about your dreams. I was mentioning at the beginning, what do you want to achieve in your life? Let's say you want to buy a big house, a mansion or a villa or whatever it is. You want to buy your dream car, okay? So then you're gonna think how I go about it. First, you're gonna dissect it in small pieces. So this house might worth, I don't know, $200,000-300,000, or if you are more ambitious, $1 million. Okay, that means I need to have a certain revenue. Okay, so I need to start to generate a certain income. So then, how much of income that comes to across 10 years, across 5 years, across 12 months, and across a month? So maybe I need to be able to reach this $10,000 or $30,000 revenue a month. Now, I gotta ask myself the question: what do I need to reach that goal? Okay, so I will break it in small pieces. First, I need to make sure that I have a career development plan behind it. So I need to work for the best companies. I need to improve my salary. So I need to develop myself. So now you start to get into small pieces. You start to look at your career. We just talked about it before. So what is the next progression? Where can I go into my career to get the next step and get the next revenue? Or maybe creating my own company that can generate me enough of revenue to reach this goal in the future. Then personal development is an area that generally people miss investing in themselves, in their personal development. Many people think that after school, when we get our degree, our learning journey is finished. No, it just starts. If you don't continue developing yourself, you're going to just stagnate here, and ultimately, while others are developing, you're going to be going down. All right. So it's very important that when you start to set up your goals, you start with your dreams and then dissect them into small pieces, what it means for you to reach this ultimate goal, and make it for you small bit achievable that you can go about every day. It should not stay that this dream that stays for me, it's 10 years, 20 years down the line, and the day will come and I will go about it. No, it has to be something that you can do small achievements every day that you can even celebrate when you achieve those goals. So that will be the approach that you need to have in terms of how to set up those goals.
So once I have set up my goals, does it end there?
No. And that's one of the biggest challenges that people have. We all have goals. We all think about setting up these goals. One of the first challenge that people, when they set up their goals, they set up these goals, like I call it, in thin air, just in the air. Wow, I'm dreaming to lose weight. Let's take a very simple that is very common in your people want to lose weight, and say I want to lose weight. Fine, okay. And then I set up my objectives, but it doesn't mean anything if I don't take it and write it down. I want to lose weight. I find the why I want to lose weight, and what will be maybe my ideal weight that I want to achieve. Okay, and then how long and by when I want to achieve this goal. Okay, so let's say you are 100 kilos person, and you want to lose 20 kilos, for instance, to be at 80, to be in a reasonable weight. So now you're going to tell yourself, reasonably, I need to lose like 2 kilos a month, or maybe 2 kilos a month, so that will take you close to 6 months, okay, if not 8 months, to achieve your ideal target. So every month you need to measure yourself that you are losing actually 2 kilos. Now, how we go about it? You take a pen, you take a paper, and you write, losing weight, I need to lose 20 kilos, I need to lose 2 per month. Now, what is the best way for me to lose weight? I need to start to get active. So I start to take action now against it. And this is where most of us fail in getting about our objective. They start to take action, which means I need to start to wake up in the morning, to go and start to do workout, either to run, to walk, and start to take action about it. Small. I'm not telling you if you never run, you will just, go and start to run to lose weight. No, you can start maybe by walking 20 minutes every day, and then slowly you increase the pace. So you start to measure yourself. The other thing as well, you might to think about what you have in your plate. What do you eat? So you change your eating habits. So slowly you change. So the reality is that when you set up your goals, you need to go about them to take action behind it, and you'll be able to follow through every day. It takes an average close to 3 weeks, before we get into a habit in terms of taking action. So if I start to run every morning, for instance, before it becomes an instinctive and habit in me and wake up automatically and go about it, it's 3 weeks. I need at least to do it for 3 weeks. So that's what I call starting to take action. So your goals doesn't stop that. Take action. That's the most important.
Okay, so would you like to give a message to everyone who's watching you about 2018? What would you like to say to your followers?
So to my followers, I will say one message: don't let go. Because the real challenge that we have is that once we get this motivation, in the moment, I call it the heat of the moment, where we're in the crowd, we are, let's say it's New Year, we're celebrating, and after the 12s, after midnight, everybody is kissing and hugging, and we are all into the vibe, and say, okay, what's your new resolution? Are we going to take new resolution? And we're going to set ourselves new goals, whatever it is. So in the heat of the moment, we're gonna have crazy objectives. Stop smoking, or stop or losing weight, and go do the work that has been lying down for 3 years and you never did it, or whatever it is. So in the heat of the moment, we have this motivation. We are full of energy. My message to you is that when this energy of the heat is gone, you still need to follow through, and that's what I call the commitment. So my message to you is that don't let go. Stay committed. Go after each and every of the goals that you set up for yourself. Take action behind it. And if you need help, get yourself a coach, someone that will hold you accountable. It could be a friend that will time to time remind you, that you set up yourself a goal, and I can see that you're not losing weight, for instance, or you're not quitting smoking. So it will remind you and hold you accountable. So have an accountability body. Even if you don't have an accountability body, get yourself a coach, someone that will also help you to pave the way. So that will be my message to you, my dear followers.